I think it's really, really quite cool that you can summarize everything in just a single sound. Never ceases to amaze me how different kinds of galaxies sound. Elliptical galaxies are, in my opinion, the most boring. There's not a lot of structure, there's not a lot happening in them, so they don't have very exciting sounds. They don't have a lot of high notes. It's mostly just kind of low tones. And then there's spiral galaxies. They have these beautiful swirly arms that come out from the center, and they have a lot of higher notes. So they have the lower bass notes to describe the fact that they're brightest in the center and fainter on the outskirts. But then you have to build higher notes on top of that to explain all of these more detailed, finer structures. And then barred galaxies are somewhere in between those two. That bar contributes a pretty strong low note, plus there's brighter notes on top of it. You can just never look at anything at all. You would never have to involve your eyes. And you could just classify a bunch of galaxies using just your ears. So I'm trying to sonify images of galaxies. I am using math to first summarize the distribution of the light in a galaxy, which just gives me a set of weights. And then I can turn those weights into sounds so that a single chord represents all of the structure within a galaxy. Your ears are better at some stuff than your eyes are. So by sonifying, you get a new perspective on the data. I like to think of it as a more immersive experience, right? You get to really interact with the data in multiple different forms and get to understand it more deeply that way, I think. It is such a bizarre thing to pick up and also choose to do in a very insecure stage of my career. So I think it's just a really neat way to think about data, and I want to share that. I think we have this idea that data is numbers in an Excel spreadsheet that scientists take and are dry and boring, but data can be very, very beautiful and fun and interactive. And by sonifying data, I think we get to perhaps think in a more artistic sense than we would normally, just because we're so used to doing visualizations. My dream future is that we incorporate multiple modalities of ways to interact with data into classrooms at earlier ages, instead of systematically excluding blind people, but even also just people who have different ways of learning. Some people are not visual learners. I think that we might be able to get more people more involved. I don't know, you know how art is traditionally used as the mark of a society? I think also science that is beyond just the pure bare bones essential is also an indicator that you have a functioning society, because it means you're allowed to think bigger. You're allowed to think about existential things.